In this video, we will cover how to automatically run LGH File Inspector queries using the Windows Task Scheduler, including covering the advanced query settings. First, we're going to create a query. Here, we're going to select the tags that we wish to query. For further information on how to create a query, please take a look at our previous blog in the series, Getting Started with LGH File Inspector. So now that we've created a query, let's look at automating it. First, let's go to the Advanced Query settings. The Advanced Query settings allow for variable query start dates and times when launching a query outside of the LGH File Inspector. If the initial start date is set to today, the query will begin at midnight for that day when the scheduled task triggers. You can increase and decrease the time by adding and subtracting here. We have found that this is very helpful for users who have LGH files that are created at the start of each day and placed in the same folder, because this allows LGH File Inspector to automatically tick the date to query forward each day. For this purpose, we're going to use today, leave it at 12 a.m. So we have a lot of different query destination options. We can open it in LGH File Inspector. We can open and run it in LGH File Inspector. We can create a new Excel worksheet, update an existing worksheet, create a new CSV file, append to an existing CSV file, or create a new Aviva Historian Fast Load CSV file. For this, we're going to create a new CSV file. For this, you can choose to show in folder or don't show. We're going to select don't show. And you can choose whether or not to include the query begin date and time in the file name. For Excel worksheets, you have very similar settings here. You can choose whether to create a new workbook, append to an existing workbook, to show that workbook, or to save and close that workbook, as well as whether to add or append that date. Now we'll want to make sure that we save the changes to the query. Right. And now we're going to automate the query using Windows Task Scheduler. First, we're going to open Windows Task Scheduler. Then we'll select Create Task. Here you can give it a user-friendly name and description. Now we're going to look at the Triggers tag. We're going to create a new trigger, and this is when we're going to choose the schedule. And so for our case, we're going to do daily, and let's set it for about 2 minutes from now. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK, just make sure it's enabled. And let's go to Actions. Select New. We're going to browse to the LGH File Inspector, and that is what is going to be under Program/Script. Now we're going to add arguments. This is going to be the file path of the LGHQ file. You can add multiple with a space in between. In our case, we are only doing one. There are also conditions you can set. We don't really need to worry about this Conditions tab. The same thing goes for settings. There's nothing here we really need to worry about on a basic level, but there are some advanced settings that you can change here. All right, so we're going to hit OK. Now, it's going to run in about a minute here. Another thing we can do here is go ahead and right-click and hit Run. This will allow you to run that task even when it's not a scheduled time for it. And here you can see the CSV file that we created. When opened in Excel, you can see along the top the 4 tags that we chose. There are no values under these headings because the LGH file that we used did not have any data for today. However, typically you would see values here. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our support team, either at support@softwaretoolbox.com or at 704-849-2773.